Deep dive into a love story. It's practically a fairy tale, but with a twist. We're going beyond like that whirlwind romance and exploring a love that kind of unfolds over a lifetime. Think about like shared passions,
Yeah.
artistic expression, and a connection that runs deeper than just, surface level attraction. What do you think, listener? Are you ready for some serious meant to be vibes?
Absolutely. And what I think is really fascinating about this story is how it uses the backdrop of nature
Mm.
to mirror the growth and evolution of love.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about like a fleeting infatuation. This is about a connection that's rooted in something much deeper.
Okay, so let's paint a picture for our listener. The story takes place in these charming villages, nestled in rolling hills with rivers winding through the landscapes, like stepping into a painting,
Yeah.
All peaceful and idyllic, almost like the setting itself is hinting at the kind of love story we're about to uncover.
That's exactly right. The story really emphasizes the beauty of the natural world, creating this sense of harmony that sets the stage for Anj and Eliz's relationship. Think of it this way, listener. The tranquility of their surroundings almost becomes a metaphor for the kind of love they build. A love that's grounded, steady, and able to weather any storm.
Speaking of weathering storms, let's meet our main characters. First up, we have Anj. He's described as this introspective guy who finds solace in nature and expresses himself through music. His violin playing isn't just technically skilled, it's filled with tenderness, like he's pouring his soul into every note. What do you make of that, listener? Have you ever encountered someone who just radiates that kind of deep feeling through their art?
Anji's character really makes me think about the power of introversion. He's not loud or flashy, but there's this profound sensitivity in the way he experiences the world. And it comes out through his music. It's almost like his violin becomes a conduit for his emotions, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Now contrast that with Eliz, who brings a completely different energy to the story. She's radiant, known for her laughter and kindness, and her passion is painting. Through her art, she captures not just the beauty around her, but also her own inner world, all those vibrant emotions and that infectious joy she's known for.
Eliz embodies a certain vibrancy. She's drawn to beauty in all its forms, and her art becomes her way of expressing that,
Mm.
of sharing it with the world. It's fascinating how the story sets up these two characters who are so different on the surface, yet they're both drawn to expressing themselves through art. It makes you wonder, listener, what role do you think shared passions play in building a lasting connection?
All right, now picture this. The village is buzzing with the excitement of the annual fair. There are people everywhere, music filling the air, and under a sprawling oak tree, Anji is lost in his music, playing his violin with that characteristic tenderness we talked about.
This oak tree becomes a central symbol in their story, doesn't it? It represents strength, longevity, those qualities that we often associate with a love that's meant to last. It's almost like the story is hinting that their love
Mm.
will be as enduring as the oak tree itself.
And that's where their paths first cross. Eliz is drawn in by the melody, captivated by Anji's music. Their eyes meet, and it's like the whole world fades away. You can almost feel the electricity in that moment, right, listener? That moment when everything changes.
It's that classic love at first sight trope.
Yeah.
But what's intriguing here is how the story doesn't just rely on that initial spark. It shows us how Anj and Eliz move beyond that first encounter and start building a connection. Based on shared interests and genuine understanding, it's not just about physical attraction. It's about a deeper recognition of kindred spirits.
They begin spending hours together, lost in conversation, sharing their dreams and stories, discovering they have this incredible synergy. They understand and appreciate each other's passions, and that becomes the bedrock of their relationship. This goes beyond the honeymoon phase infatuation, wouldn't you say? Their shared passions seem to create a foundation of mutual respect and understanding, essential ingredients for long-lasting love.
It's not superficial.
Yeah.
It's rooted in a deep understanding and a respect
Mm-hmm.
for each other's souls, talents, and dreams. It's about seeing and being seen for who they truly are.
And as their bond deepens, their love starts to intertwine with their art. Anj plays his violin while Eliz paints the landscapes they explore together. Their creativity becomes an extension of their love, fueling and inspiring each other.
This merging of their artistic expressions is truly beautiful. It highlights how love can be a catalyst for creativity, pushing us to express ourselves in new and profound ways. And their connection is so strong, it eventually leads to that pivotal moment, the proposal. Imagine this, listener. It's a crisp winter evening, the sky is ablaze with stars, and Anj, with all the tenderness in the world, asks Eliz to marry him.
I love how the story uses the setting to amplify the emotion of that moment. The vastness of the starry sky. It's like a symbol of the future they're about to embark on together. A future that feels full of promise and possibility.
Exactly. And Eliz's reaction is just as powerful. Tears of joy, pure emotion.
Mm.
It's clear that this is more than just a casual yes. It's a resounding affirmation of the deep love and commitment they share.
Their wedding is described as this joyous celebration, a true merging of two families brought together by love. It takes place in the meadow where they first met, under the watchful gaze of that symbolic oak tree. Can't you just picture it, listener? The laughter, the music, the sense of community coming together to witness this beautiful union.
It's interesting how the story emphasizes the communal aspect of their love. It's not just a private affair between two individuals. It's a celebration that involves their entire village, highlighting how love can ripple outwards and create a sense of unity and belonging.
And their journey doesn't end at the altar. The story makes it clear that their marriage, like any real-life relationship, isn't without its challenges. But what sets Anj and Eliz apart is their unwavering commitment to each other, their ability to weather those storms without letting go of the love that binds them.
This resonates with the concept of resilience in relationships. We often idealize love as this constant state of bliss. But the reality is that every couple faces difficulties. What matters is how they navigate those challenges. Anj and Eliz's story reminds us that true love isn't about the absence of conflict. It's about the ability to work through those conflicts together, to come out stronger on the other side.
They support each other through thick and thin, celebrating each other's triumphs and providing comfort during setbacks. It's that shared strength that helps them overcome any obstacle. It makes you think about the importance of having a partner who truly sees and understands you, who's there for you no matter what life throws your way.
Absolutely. And as they grow older, their love deepens and matures. They have children. And it's beautiful to see how they pass on their love for music and art to the next generation. It's like their passion becomes a family legacy, woven into the very fabric of their lives.
It's so heartwarming to see how they nurture that creativity in their children, fostering a love for artistic expression that mirrors their own. And in doing so, they create a family dynamic that's rich in connection and shared passions. It makes you wonder, listener, how have your own family dynamics shaped your views on love and relationships?
That's a great question. Our early experiences within our families often play a significant role in how we approach love and connection later in life. It's fascinating to consider how those patterns might be reflected in Anj and Eliz's children as they grow up and form their own relationships.
Now, even in a fairy tale time marches on, the story doesn't shy away from the reality of aging and the inevitable end of life. But the way Anj and Eliz face their final chapter is incredibly poignant.
They pass away peacefully, side by side, hands intertwined. It's an image that speaks volumes about the depth of their love and the enduring nature of their bond. Even in death, they're inseparable. It's almost as if their souls were always destined to be intertwined.
It's such a powerful reminder that love can transcend even the boundaries of life and death. And their story doesn't end there. It lives on in their village, becoming a legend whispered to children, a tale about the transformative power of true love and the importance of following your heart.
It's interesting how the story elevates their love to this almost mythical status. It suggests that love, at its purest form, can become a source of inspiration for generations to come. A reminder that genuine connection is possible, even amidst the complexities of life.
So we've spent some time with Anj and Eliz living their love story vicariously. But let's step back for a moment. What parts of their journey resonated most with you? What felt particularly relatable even amidst the fairy tale elements?
You know, it's fascinating because the story presents this very, idealized version of love. It's like a distilled essence of what we all long for, right? Connection, understanding, shared passion, and a love that lasts a lifetime. But it makes you wonder, how would this idyllic love have navigated those real-life challenges that most couples face?
That's such a good point. You know, it's easy to get swept away by the fairy tale aspects, but the story definitely leaves you pondering how Anj and Eliz would have handled, disagreements, compromises, maybe even moments of doubt.
Exactly. Think about it, listener. How do you think? Their shared passions for art and music might have helped them during those inevitable rough patches. Do you think their creative outlets could have been a source of strength and solace, a way to reconnect when things felt strained?
It's interesting to imagine how their individual personalities, Anj's introspective nature and Eliz's radiant spirit, might have come into play when facing those, everyday relationship hurdles. Perhaps their differences, which initially drew them to each other, could have also been a source of friction at times.
Absolutely. Differences can create that initial spark. But navigating those differences over the long haul requires communication, understanding, and a willingness to compromise. It makes you wonder if the story had included, those more nuanced aspects.
Yeah.
Would their love have felt even more real? even more relatable.
I think so. Because let's be honest, no relationship is perfect. And while Anjan and Eliz's story provides this beautiful image of enduring love, it's important to remember that real-life love stories are messy. They're complicated, and they require constant effort.
Couldn't agree more. Love isn't just a feeling, it's a choice. A commitment to showing up for each other, even when it's hard. To keep working on the relationship, even when that initial spark fades.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Anjan and Eliz's love story, what do you think is the biggest takeaway for our listener?
I think it's a reminder that even though the story presents this idealized vision of love, there are still valuable lessons to be gleaned. It reminds us of the importance of shared passions, the power of connection, and the beauty of finding someone who truly sees and understands you. But it also invites us to go beyond the fairy tale and consider how love evolves and endures in the face of real-life challenges.
Beautifully said. It's like the story gives us permission to believe in the possibility of lasting love, while acknowledging that the journey won't always be easy. And that, dear listener, is the real beauty of it all. Love may not always be a fairy tale, but it has the power to make even the most ordinary life feel extraordinary.